I'm super excited. I love all of these books. I mean, that's kind of the point. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today, I am letting my TBR jar decide my June reads. You can see my jar right here. I am so excited. I've been waiting to do this video all May. I have wanted to pull prompts out every single time I've picked up my Kindle or picked up my phone to listen to an audiobook because I'm so excited to finally decide my next reads. I think the TBR prompt jar is one of the coolest ideas on booktube, and I'm such a huge fan. I think it's so much fun to pull the prompts. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I am doing it a little bit differently. I think most people, when they have their TBR jar, pick their books for the next month. They pick from their physical TBR because it's a little bit easier to find something from a prompt that you've pulled if you have a smaller collection to choose from and if it's not too chaotic, like what I have, which is my Goodreads TBR. I don't have a physical TBR because this is my only bookshelf and it's really small, as you can see, and I really only buy books that I've already read that are 5-star reads. So I don't have a physical TBR to choose from. I just have my Goodreads TBR, and that is 762 books as of today. And so I have to pick then from those 762 books, whatever matches the prompt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick out my prompts. Then I'm gonna search through my entire almost 800 book TBR on Goodreads and have a little scavenger hunt and try to figure out what would match up to those prompts. And not only searching to find the books, but then I also have to see if those books are available at any libraries. I have multiple library cards in the US and also in Germany. So 9.9 times out of 10, it's pretty easy for me to find a book that I want to read, and I usually don't have to wait too long. If I do have to wait too long, then I might find a different book, or I might decide to do this book anyways and maybe just push it to next month's read, depending on how long the wait is. I don't know. I will decide that when I come upon that situation. So this month for June, I'm just gonna pull 3 prompts because I'm not quite finished with all of my reads in May yet. It's the end of May right now, and I still have a couple of days before the month is over, but I just don't see me finishing a couple of books that I'm reading. I'm reading Dark Skies and Dark Shores right now, and I'm barely making a dent in those books. And I'm reading them at the same time. I have a tandem reading guide from Danielle L, Jensen, the author herself, that she posted on her website. I'll link it below if you're interested in reading those books and reading it with the tandem guide. But I don't think I'm going to be finished with those. And so then, because I have to read those also in June and hopefully finish them in June, I don't want to go too crazy on the other books that I'm reading. So I'm just going to pick 3 this month, and let's pick them. Here is my TBR jar. If you've seen my video, I created a video where I created this jar, and I read you all of the prompts in this jar and gave you some more prompt ideas. So if you want to check that out, I will link the video up top here or over here, and then you can check that out. So I am just going to pick 3. I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit. And this will be number 1. And this will be number 2. And then really trying to get in there to the bottom. This will be number 3. So the third one that I pulled was a book with an odd number of pages. That's pretty easy. Honestly, I could just go to my TBR and find a book that I want to read, like right now, that I really have a craving for, and just see if it's an odd number of pages or not. That's not really the hard scavenger hunt. This one, a book released before I was born. I was born in 1996, so that is a book released in 1995 or earlier. And then a classic. I'm not the biggest fan of classics, but I actually do have a book that I really want to read because I watched the movie and kind of surprisingly liked it, and that is Persuasion. So I might choose that one, but I am going to look through my TBR on Goodreads and see if I can find a better option for that one, and then see what I can find in 1995 or earlier. So I'm currently right now trying to find a book that was published before I was born, and it's actually really difficult. My first thought was something by Robin Hobb. I started reading Ship of Magic and then I stopped, not because I didn't like it. I loved it and I love Robin Hobb, but just because I did not have any time. It was a very stressful time in my life and I kind of just abandoned it, but I really do want to read it. And so then I thought maybe I'll do that. 1998 that was published. So unfortunately that's not possible. I really thought it was a little bit earlier. So now I'm trying Terry Goodkind. I think that might potentially be... Okay, so the first book was published in 1994, which does work, but unfortunately I've already read the first book. I need the second book, and I don't know if that was... Why? Okay, so the second book in the Sword of Truth series from Terry Goodkind is Stone of Tears, and it was 1995, which is super exciting. It is 703 pages, so it's kind of a big book to take on. But I absolutely love this series. I've watched the TV show, which was really good, Legend of the Seeker. It's very cheesy. If you did not watch it when it came out, which was like early 2000s, let me look up and see. But if you didn't watch it when it came out, then you probably wouldn't like it now because it's super cheesy. It's not very well done. But I think for people who like the series, it's really good. It was created in 2008, which was way later than I thought. If I were to guess when this came out, honestly, I would have said 2001 at the absolute latest, because that's just what the CGI looks like. So it's not great in that aspect. It does get better, but I love the TV show so much, and I love the series. I loved the first book when I read it, and I started reading the second book years ago, and I never finished because, again, I just got busy. So I'm super happy that that takes care of that prompt. As far as the one for a classic, I actually have a section on my books that I've saved, which is my romance, chick lit, classic, contemporary kind of section, and there are 103 books in here. And so I'll have to search to see if I can find a classic one, but it also depends on what you consider classic, because I really wanted to read The Princess Bride by William Goldman for a long time. I'm obsessed with that movie. I think that counts as a classic. Yeah. On Goodreads, it says genres fantasy, classics, fiction, romance, humor, young adult, adventure. I think I would do that one. The description of this book, so you can decide if you also want to read it with me, is what happens when the most beautiful girl in the world marries the handsomest prince of all time, and he turns out to be, well, a lot less than the man of her dreams. As a boy, William Goldman claims he loved to hear his father read the S. Morgenstern classic, The Princess Bride. But growing up, he discovered that the boring parts were left out of the good old dad's recitation, and only the good parts reached his ears. Now Goldman does Dad one better. He's reconstructed the good parts version to delight wise kids and wide-eyed grown-ups everywhere. What's it about? Fencing, fighting, true love, strong hate, harsh revenge, a few giants, lots of bad men, lots of good men, 5 or 6 beautiful women, beasties, monstrous and gentle, some swell escapes and captures, death, lies, truth, miracles, and a little sex. In short, it's about everything. I have never read the description before. I've only seen the movie, and I just knew that I wanted to read the book that inspired the movie, and I think that description was incredible. I definitely am even more excited to read this book, which I didn't think was possible. Also, it has 902,860 ratings on Goodreads and 4.27 stars. So obviously people like it quite a bit. Maybe give it a try. I will tell you what I think about it once I'm done reading it in June. I also found the final prompt, the third one, a book with an odd number of pages. I actually got a notification yesterday that a book that I have been waiting to read is finally available to me, and that is The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and that has 517 pages, which is an odd number of pages. So I have all 3 of my books. The description of Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, if you want to see if you're interested in reading this book also, is 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now, the commanding general, also known as her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Dragon Riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I'm assuming. Please let me know in the comments below. I'll be listening to the audiobook, so actually I'll figure out soon enough, but I think Xaden Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly, the kingdom's protective wards are falling, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at Basgaev War College, I hope that's also how you pronounce that, no idea, has an agenda. Because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. And this has 1.6 million ratings on Goodreads, which is crazy. I had no idea I knew it was popular, but I didn't think it was that popular, my goodness. And it has 4.59 stars, which is crazy. I've almost never seen a book with such high ratings and so many people who have rated it. Normally when a book is rated that high, I feel like it's a little bit smaller and it's just a very small, passionate group of people who love it, but this is truly really beloved. So we'll see what I think about it. I've heard really good reviews, but I've also heard really bad reviews. So I don't know, we'll find out. But it is the winner for Best Romantasy 2023. And I do love me a good romantasy book. So I have pretty high expectations for this. We'll see. So in June, I will be reading The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And then I will be reading Stone of Tears by Terry Goodkind. And then I will be listening to, on audiobook, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm super excited. I love all of these books. I mean, that's kind of the point. They're all on my TBR, so of course I love them. But I'm super excited that I'm reading this and that I will be motivated to read this because it's actually part of my prompt for June. And I'm really excited to read this because I honestly kind of forgot about this book. I bought it ages ago and I just never got around to reading it. And so now I finally have a chance. This is quite thick. Like I said, this one is 700 and something pages, 713 pages or so. And then Fourth Wing is 517 pages. And this one isn't that bad, but it adds up, especially because I'm still not done with Dark Skies and Dark Shores. So I also have to read those two, and who knows what else I will get around to. But I doubt this next month in June I'll be able to get to that much more when I have these on my plate, but we shall see. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day. I hope you also had fun picking out your books for June. If you also did a TBR prompt jar, let me know in the comments below because I would love to watch your video and see what you picked out. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.